Good morning, everybody. Pastor Stitch, Narrow Path Christian Church, BC, Bay City, Michigan. Welcome to the Biker Devotional. Have you ever noticed when you're dealing with people who have some stuff in their life, and most of you know I work within the recovery community a lot because I'm in recovery. And so it's natural for me to be there. There is something that is very common that I run into. People who are sober, they haven't used in a week, 2, 3, 5, 60 days, and you notice that while they may not actually be using the substance, nothing in their life has changed. Have you ever noticed that? And it's because the chemical, the addiction, the thought process, whatever it was that they were thinking that was their biggest problem in their life, was what they used to medicate. But their biggest problem was themselves. In today's reading in Proverbs, we read this in verse 1 and 2. One who isolates himself pursues selfish desires. He rebels against all sound judgment. A fool does not delight in understanding, but only wants to show off his opinion. One of two things typically happens at this point in recovery, because they're unwilling to really deal with the real problem in their life. One, they isolate themselves. Pull themselves away so they don't have to deal with real life. Pull somebody else into their life who is extra needy so that they can stay away from everyone else and say they're doing good things. The truth of the matter is, a person that isolates themselves, according to Solomon, according to God's wisdom from Solomon, that person is selfish and only doing it for themselves. And they rebel against anything that is correct. But there's the other side of this equation. There are those who they don't isolate. They know that they can't do that. So the next step in the process is they step out into the world around them and they make sure everyone knows how important their thoughts are. Verse 2 says, a fool does not delight in understanding, but only wants to show off their opinion. They want to expose themselves in a way. But they're still a fool. So today, as you go into your day, I don't care if you've been working recovery for 2 hours or you've been working recovery for 20 years. This is something we all need to remember. We can't isolate. We can't surround ourselves with people that will help us isolate. That's the big one, because we're convinced we're not isolating when we have other people around us that are pulling us away, right? Because then, well, no, I got somebody around me. Well, no, you're using that as your excuse to isolate. And the other thing is, when you are out and about, don't be the fool. Learn to listen, to hear, and be present. You know, we always hear the saying, you got 2 ears and 1 mouth, use them in proportion. And I would often challenge, you've got 2 ears, 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, and 1 mouth. Use them in proportion. You got 6 ways to bring in to your senses and 1 way to put it out. It's a much better way to live your life. I love y'all. I hope you have a great day. God bless.